Most women are not going to be able to tell the difference between those two men, first of all. All they're going to know is this guy has kind of a zoof. His energy is zoof. It cuts through life, and it's very penetrative. And he fucks life open. Whether he does that and causes great suffering, or if he does that and for the sake of healing the world, it's the energy that polarizes her body, fundamentally. It's the quality of the energy. So, in a certain sense, those same men can be equally as attractive. And I don't want to use Conor McGregor exclusively because I don't know him personally. We just kind of all know about him. But typically, a man who believes his purpose is on the other side of that acquisition is going to have something unsettled and irritated about him. And we could see the violent outbursts and kind of the crazy behavior. I know McGregor slugged a dude in the face in a bar. I mean, he's thrown shit through buses. His system's irritated. He's not the Buddha. He's not at peace in himself, right? So a man can be totally purpose-driven and be totally not at peace in himself. The main character in that show, Peaky Blinders, is another perfect example of this. A man who's totally perfect, but he's in hell. He's his own personal hell that he's trying desperately to escape, and he cannot escape it, right? And his whole mission is to escape this place, to liberate himself from this hell. He can have that purpose quality inside of him, and that'll be very attractive to a lot of women. Very attractive. But when she gets in relationship to him, she's also going to have to suffer his own hell. She's going to be pulled in and be part of that whole perspective he has on his life, this itching, this irritation in him that he's trying to burst out of. And it gets expressed in so many ways. So while ultimately the energy of his purposefulness and directiveness is very attractive, being in the presence of that kind of creature could be very disruptive or irritating depending on the woman or what she's looking for in her life. So the man on the other side of that, typically what happens for this dude is he realizes, purpose is not the thing, and he'll rest back and he'll become disembodied, like Ramana Maharshi or Eckhart Tolle or all of these individuals who essentially have become enlightened. And there's a certain kind of woman that'll find that very attractive, for certain. There's women that find serial killers attractive for similar reasons in the reciprocal form. Really, when men have to become serial killers, they get tons of love letters from women all over. There's a reason for that. But not all women are going to be attracted to Ramana Maharshi. Not all women are attracted sexually to Eckhart Tolle, right? But the difference is because in what I've described, they don't just pop out into full liberation and then they're no longer here in their bodies. To be sexually interesting to a woman, you have to bring that back into this form and fuck her with it. When you can breathe it back down into the vital center, and that's included, that's when it really becomes the sexual gift. Now, he could be a guru and they could kind of fantasize about him the way that a woman might fantasize about Jesus making love to her or a saint making love to her. That can be very sexual for women. Even in the nunnery, kind of having fantasies about the divine making love to you. Very common, very common. But that's all happening in the non-embodied realm. So it's a flavor. But for the dude who's in the world and pursuing the material purposes, he's also connected to his vital center. And that's why Conor McGregor is going to feel more sexually delicious than Eckhart Tolle. Because his fucking genitals are part of that process. His fists are part of that process. He's breathing the totality of the body-mind, right? Now, if a man can have the vitality and drive of Conor McGregor and simultaneously possess the enlightenment of Ramana Maharshi or Eckhart Tolle. Now you literally have every woman's, it's a bold statement to say every woman, but at every woman's, a common archetype in this work was called Jesus and James Bond. And it would, when you embody Jesus and James Bond simultaneously, women fucking go nuts because your heart is open and your cock is rock hard. You can fuck the world open, but you also have a heart that's totally unobstructed and a profound love and a consciousness running through you. So the genitals, the heart, and the mind are fully liberated. And that's what I mean by this breath. Now, in Conor McGregor, he certainly has these lower vitals liberated to a certain way, even up through the heart, even. Now, certain degrees of his spirituality, I don't know him personally. He seems like a pretty intelligent, really sincere man, but I don't know. I doubt he's as enlightened as, Eckhart Tolle. I doubt he's as enlightened as Ramana Maharshi. So he has some work to go if he were to become his own best version of that ideal partner or mate. Does this make sense? So in her world, give me Conor McGregor and fucking Eckhart Tolle in one dude, or Ramana Maharshi in one dude, Jesus in one dude, and now you've got the full gamut. But the reason why that archetype is so profound for her is because he's breathing all the way down into his vital center. His cock is hard. He's ready to fuck the world open. He's not divorced from his passion or his humanity. And when he exhales to the fucking divine. He touches pure consciousnness and then breathes that back down through him. And that's the totality of what she wants. And that's the magic of the two-bodied practice. Because that when she admits it and understands all of this, that is what she wants. When a man understands this as well, often, if he wants to be embodied, he will want the totality of that as well. Not every man wants to be embodied, not everyone wants to be sexual. But if he wants that for himself, you and her want the same thing for you. Does that make sense? How many men here would want that for themselves? They would want to be that character who could breathe the full. Yeah, I mean, of course. That's what we're doing here. All you're trying to do is get that current to flow through your body unobstructed, and she is your best reflection to help you do that, so long as she's honest with you. Because when you find it, it will splay her body open in sexual ecstasy. It will splay her open. So then both of you begin working towards that as a spiritual path. That's what this body of work is about.